Hello, and welcome to the Chronicles of a Dreamworker, a podcast dedicated to exploring and sharing the stories of what happens on the other side when we close our eyes. I'm your host and creator, Katie Thompson. I'm a lifelong intuitive and creative storyteller. I'm a multidisciplinary artist, mother, wife, and survivor. I'm also a dreamworker. In this episode, I'd like to talk about what I find to be the incredibly empowering idea of each of us being our own guides in our dreams. Sounds wild, doesn't it? But think about it though. If dreaming and dream work are allowing you to convene with your higher self, you are in fact guiding yourself not only through your dreams, but also through your waking life. If you subscribe to the thought that we are all of one consciousness, then that especially holds up. I personally find a lot of comfort and validation in the thought that I could be guiding myself through spirit at times, communicating with myself from a higher place. I think a lot of people either dismiss or fear some of the guidance that we regularly receive in dreams because it can feel so of the self and not at the same time. I think this is, again, due to the fact that we are receiving messages and guidance not only from ourselves, but from spirit, our loved ones, and guides from across time, space, and dimensions. There are already many studies out there of the possible health benefits you can get from dreaming. To go even further, there are even studies of how we could help heal ourselves through our dreams. I found this incredibly interesting article by Michelle Carr published in New Scientist titled Heal Yourself Inside Your Dreams. It covers several points of discussion very well, but mostly centered around the practice of lucid dreaming. One point I found very interesting and was sort of scientific confirmation of my own personal experiences. In the article, it says, quote, people have been experiencing and writing about lucid dreams for thousands of years. Now, with the advent of brain imaging, we have been able to learn much more about what goes on during them. Comparing the brain scans of people who were awake, asleep, or in lucid dreams revealed what many had long suspected. Lucid dreaming is a state in between REM sleep, the phase in which most of our dreams occur, and waking. Unlike regular dreams, lucid dreams involve brain activity in areas associated with working memory and regions thought to play a role in higher cognitive functions, such as planning and behavioral control, end quote. So for me, this confirms the existence of the in-between, or the state between the waking and dream realms that we experience while lucid dreaming. We've been able to see scientific evidence that it literally is the state between REM sleep and waking. The article goes on to address how one could self-heal by rewriting traumas in their lucid dreams with their ability to make choices or engage. Beyond that, it also addresses studies in which we can actually interact with ourselves and even with others while one party is lucid dreaming. One study had scientists deliver math equations to participants while the participants were in a lucid dreaming state. A few of the participants did answer these questions correctly in their dreams. Others were able to move objects in their dreams in correlation with a virtual device showing a similar object or problem on a screen. Beyond the mental abilities we have while lucid dreaming, we are also able to influence our physical capabilities as well. Another study at Duke, which is particularly interesting to me as someone with a spinal cord injury, they use similar devices to, quote, restore brain-controlled walking in people who have had a spinal cord injury. They further explain that people with lower limb paralysis who must learn to control an exoskeleton face an added barrier in that the brain may forget how to send motor signals to their legs. Participants first learn to use brain activity to control an avatar in virtual reality, getting it to walk around a field. This helped the brain relearn how to send motor signals, which meant that when people moved on to using a real exoskeleton, they got the hang of controlling it much more quickly. With lucid dreaming, people could exercise their mental muscles in their dream world every night, helping them eventually transition to controlling a real exoskeleton, end quote. So this article, which I will be sure to link in the description, shares some pretty compelling evidence that we are able to interact with ourselves in many different ways within our dreams, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. As such, I don't think it is out of the realm of possibility that we are able to help ourselves through dreams across time and space too. So how do we help guide ourselves through our dreams? I think that it can happen in many different ways. Of course, how we relate to our own selves will make our dream communications with anyone or any particular topic unique. Symbols, words, conversations, or even the plot of your dreams can all be a signal to pay attention that only you would understand. I think the best way to start learning what your dream language means and how it relates to you is to write your dreams down. I know that advice sounds like a broken record at times, but it really does help, even if it's in shorthand. Just getting it written down into something that you can go back to and reference and study is a great tool to have. You may come back later with a new perspective and discover something you hadn't noticed before. In my own dream language, for instance, I've noticed that I often dream of tidal waves or rising waters when I'm in a particularly emotional period of my life. Sometimes the person or thing relevant to the situation is present in the dream as well. Beyond that, try to remember how you talk to yourself and others in your dreams. Are you acting out of character, or do you find yourself repeating certain conversations or situations over and over? Are there certain words or numbers that stand out? And it's always important to note, how does all of this make you feel? Listening to your inner voice, both in your dreams and when analyzing them, is the best way to connect with yourself. For our dream narrative this time, I'd like to share a recent dream of mine where I received some very clear guidance surrounding transitions in my life. Please enjoy. It's been another long night, and the first peaks of dawn are creeping in across the sky. Tonight, I'm in a gray, pinstriped, knee-length dress suit and heels. My hair is blown out in big curls, long, and they're draping my face. For once, I don't look a mess at the end of the evening, I think. Then I laugh because I am, in fact, a mess no matter what realm I am in. My memory is quickly fading. However, I know that I've just left an important event. I feel content, solid, as if something has been completed. I vaguely recall a meeting or presentation of some sort. I know that my dream work involves both of those quite a bit, so I trust my feelings and keep walking forward with confidence. The street is quiet as the sun continues to rise. I turn into my building, walking between the sliding glass doors. The few doormen and receptionists look up, each with an acknowledging smile, then return to their work in the near empty lobby. It's almost silent as I approach the elevator bank. I place my hand on the wall. Elevator 9, please, I request. And the large steel doors open to an empty car. I enter and the doors shut behind me. Number 11, please, I ask out loud. And I immediately feel the pull upwards in my stomach as we climb gravity's ladder. I count along with the passing floors as I usually do until I arrive to the 11th floor. The doors open, I step out and turn left. The open atrium is as quiet as the lobby below. I walk the familiar hallways. My muffled steps on the carpet are the only sound. No one else is around. A panel slides back to reveal my door as I approach. I press my finger to the electronic pad above the doorknob, unlocking it. I turn the handle and enter, only to find the space completely empty. The door closes behind me with a gentle thud that echoes through the emptiness. There's no bed, no chairs, nothing that was here before. Just an open room filled only with the bright morning light. I take off my suit jacket and look out of the huge bay windows. I must be moving, I think. I'm exhausted and just want to sleep so I can go home. My waking home. A pang of loneliness sets in my chest. I walk over to another window to my right and notice the most beautiful clouds rising above the outer expanse of the city. The lavender sky is filled with pink and blue curves, highlights of light making them shine though as the clouds were made of the stars themselves. I stop in awe. I slide down to sit on the floor, back resting on the wall. I could sit here forever, I thought. I felt content in releasing the expectation to do or be anything other than to be here, watching the clouds. A few moments later, I blink open my eyes to find myself in my bedroom, back here in the waking life. I'd made it back, but the peaceful feeling of sitting there in that empty space, watching the clouds, remained. That dream let me know that change was approaching and that it was going to be a little unsettling. There was an opportunity for growth at hand, and it would require me to really dig deep within myself. But I was already all that I needed to keep going on this journey. That concludes this episode of Chronicles of a Dreamworker. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear from you and hear more about your experiences. Please drop me a message at dreamworkerchronicles@gmail.com. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're catching this on YouTube, and be sure to follow along on your favorite podcast platform. Wishing you sweet dreams. Chronicles of a Dreamworker is a Black Swamp production.